Look, Charleston White defends Karmelo Anthony despite criticism. And I'm not talking about the basketball player, man. I'm talking about the Frisco ISD student that poked the other student with something he was allegedly sharp as his cleats with. Yeah, he's taking up for him. Yeah, let's get into the content, fam.
I got all the facts of the case. So there's a video that's been released by Frisco Independent School District because this is public information. And if you want to see this video, you can go up to Frisco Independent School District and see this video. That's why Sarah J. Fields and Austin Metcalf's dad, and now they've drugged the mom in, but they're trying to debunk people from going to see the video. Why do you think Sarah J. Fields, she released the indictment before anybody had the indictment, and she got a woman fired? Because they're using a new Jim Crow systematic tactic where they got the people inside the courts, they got the people inside, and they're working against the Karmelo Anthony family on behalf of Sarah J. Fields because she's a precinct chair and she's threatening to use her power from her precinct chair, I think District 30, to get people unelected and get people elected if they don't go against this case. So she's trying to use political power to influence and persuade this case. That is what Sarah J. Fields has partnered with Austin's family in trying to do. The mom wasn't too much in it. The mom's really been grieving. Austin, Jeff Metcalf has been playing for the camera because he's been an absent father who abused the mom, and he think he can get back in with mom, and mom doesn't want anything to do with Jeff. That's why you don't see them standing in the camera together like you see the Karmelo Anthony's family doing. So let me stick to the case, to the facts, right? So Sarah has a lady who works for the Collin County courts who just lost her job, who released the indictment before anybody had it. So for whatever reason, Sarah is getting all this information and she's coming to misconstrue the information, and she's giving out misinformation and false information. Number one, the family has not touched the GoFundMe money. GoFundMe froze the money because the lawyers are trying to get the money. The lawyers are trying to get the money, not the family. It's the lawyers. The first group of people came through with civil rights lawyers trying to play for a civil rights lawsuit as if this was a police shooting. That's why they went with the race card. Biggest mistake they could have made. First mistake I told them they made, playing a race card. Now the white people was waiting for black people to play the race card. Now they're playing the race card in ways that we can't see. It's called racism. It's hidden in the fabrics. It's embedded in the fabrics of the design of America. So it's not blatant. You can't see it. It's hidden. Like somebody in Collin County courts who has a job to feed their family are releasing private information to a known, not a law enforcement, which is Sarah J. Fields. That's the first mistake that's happened in this case. These are adults that's doing this. These are not, this was a children's problem, a children's issue. The adults have gotten in and made it hateful, ugly, and racist. And this is about right or wrong. This is clearly about right or wrong. This isn't about race. The adults have came in and made it about race. You don't hear no children online talking and fighting and going back and forth about this case. It's all hateful-hearted adults. It's not children. It's all hateful-hearted adults online bickering, going back and forward, spewing hate over an issue over children. And none of them was there. All the adults with opinion, none of them was there. So Sarah, let's tell the truth. Jeff, let's tell the truth. You even said in an interview, but you're talking too fucking much online, Jeff. You're talking too much online, Jeffrey Metcalf. And you're partnering with someone who wasn't there, and it's clearly she's a hateful-hearted. And by the way, Sarah, we have your background as well. You said Dominique Alexander's a horrible person, and he is. And you once were too, Sarah. You used to smoke meth.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you what Charleston White is talking about right now. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you. But what I will tell you is, bro, I just wish they would just leave this one alone. Leave it alone, bro. It's gonna, you making it bad for this guy, Karmelo Anthony. You making it very bad. Because if you ask me, bro, he was wrong. Yeah, he was wrong. He should have told somebody. He should have go get an adult. You don't take the law into your own hands and take a life. Seems like it could have been premeditated. Why? You knew they were going to be there, and allegedly you went over there and sat by them. Why didn't you bring your father to that track meet? He should have escorted you. You will be all right, son. I got you. You know what I mean? Real shit, bro. You don't just, man, come on, man. Drop it in the comments. But look here, bro. I wish these people, everybody, would just stop talking about this situation and let the law handle it. You know what I mean? Why? He's gonna be convicted because he was in the wrong. Even tried to cover it up. I can't make this shit up, bro. And I hate to say this, but once that man is convicted, you're just gonna make his time hard. He's never gonna be able to suck what he really done. He's always gonna see it from a point of view that he was in the right and he was just defending himself. He must have to center himself and humble himself before he walked through them doors, so that time alone won't kill him. You know what I mean? Just being honest, just being unfortunately, this is just the way it works. This is just the way it works. What you can do is focus on your own child that's might be slipping up, because it's 2025, fam. It's 2025. If you don't watch him, they're liable to be doing all type of things. This is just how they got the kids operating and got them controlled right now. They all fall programmed. They all fall in the same shit, the same trends, the same fads. If you want to keep yours from getting hurt and hurting others, you must keep an eye on them, and you must properly raise them and keep them out of destruction's path. You have to, or you're gonna be faced with this, because what happened here was, in fact, between kids. This is some kid shit that went way too far, but you're not talking to your child enough. That's point blank period. You're not talking to your child enough because you don't know what the is going on in their life. You know, that's the problem. Your child taking ass whooping, you can't even see him all bruised up. He came in the house black and blue, allegedly, because they jumped him. You couldn't see no bruises, or you didn't step up and say, you didn't tell anybody, son. That's what happened. Look, drop it in the comments. I wish Charleston White and everybody else would stop aggravating all parties involved, because you're making matters worse. You're making matters very worse. Why? Even when it comes down to paroling this kid down the line, that family, they ain't gonna want to be involved. Gonna write letters against it. Why? You dragged him. You're tapping their ticker way too much, because guess what? Goes back to what I originally said. Karmelo Anthony was terribly wrong for stabbing Austin Metcalf at that Frisco ISD track meet. You should have stayed your ass home. You know what I mean? Yeah, you should have stayed your ass home. What's your record, son? Are you known for winning? Would you have potentially won that track meet? Did you already do your event? Have you ever won a track meet? Why were you fucking there if you were getting your ass whooped? Drop it in the comments. There's certain questions that have to be answered. It may seem like, oh, bro, you're being petty. What do you mean stay home? If he wasn't a star athlete, there wasn't no reason for risking going home black and blue again. And I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, shout out old chicken shit Charlie. He gonna talk. He gonna talk. If you listen, he might say some smart shit, but every blue moon, that's the case. Most of the time, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit and it's opinionated. Everybody has an opinion. Opinions just like assholes. Everybody have one. Why would Charleston be any different? People just choose to tap in. That's all that is. Look, Scar's from the playground, bro. We're going to the moon. Yeah, we're going to the moon. Yeah, and we're really going to step foot on that motherfucker. We ain't going to get scared off. That's a whole nother topic. We're not going to get in that today. Stay tuned. The show is growing wings. Yeah, the show is growing wings. If you want to be involved business-wise with Scars from the Playground, hit the email, scarsfromtheplayground@gmail.com. I'm looking to be casted in a movie. If you got the movie, I will even go on Tubi. You know what I mean? Real shit. You got to start somewhere. You got some roles, you got some business, you got some beats. You love the music. Get at me, fam. You just want to say what's up. You just want to say, hey, fuck you. Get at me in the email. scarsfromtheplayground@gmail.com. It's a little more personal. Yeah, it's a little more personal. I learned my lesson about the YouTube comments. They will get you a community warning. No content creator wants a warning or a strike. You know, all you got to do is stop talking back and watch the words you use. So yeah, I'm trying. You know what I'm trying, but I'm new to all this shit. It's just got to be honest, got to be real. I'm new to all this shit, but I'm trying. But once I seen the community warnings, you know what? It ain't even worth it. First of all, it ain't worth it. Second of all, say it in public, bitch. You know what I mean? Say it in person. Yeah. And punk jump up to get beat down. Yeah, few people actually take the challenge. Yeah, few people actually step up to bat. You know what I mean? It's just me being, it ain't me saying I ain't bravado. I'm 6'4", bro. 200. You know what I mean? Might even weigh 205 right now. You know, just being I've been eating. But yeah, I ain't worried about that type of shit. But anyway, Scars from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe. We're going up that way. That way. It's the only way to go. Point blank, period. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm equipped. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.